Hey guys, Desolator Magic here. We've got some Modern Horizons 2 leaks from what I understand is a fairly reliable source. But this time, they might not be accurate for a different reason. They're just so darn early. And by the way, this video has a brand new sponsor that I'm very excited about because they are truly awesome. More info about my new favorite clothing brand into the AM later in this video. Wait until you see these shirt designs. Now, if this is the same person that allegedly it was before, we saw some text-only, like, initial testing, we haven't even made the card yet, kind of stuff, and one or two of them changed a little bit, and one of them just disappeared, which means they didn't make it through playtesting. But I do believe they were real at the time because the person was right about, like, the other 8 cards. But before we jump into the alleged card leaks, we've got a little bit of a lore leak. And this time, I'm not the originator. I think, what did I spoil that one time? The 2 books or something? I don't even remember. I had an inside source on that, and I was really proud of it. Anyway, Sheldred, one of the Phyrexian Praetors, the really scary one, ultra powerful, by the way, they were supposed to show up in Throne of Eldraine. But the whole Phyrexians are back idea got pushed back to Kaldheim. So, allegedly, that's a thing. Now, we knew we were circling back to the Phyrexians ever since we left, like, New Phyrexia or whatever. I mean, come on. But, really, since Karn said, I'm going after the Sylex, I'm going to use it to destroy the Phyrexians once and for all, and then I think it was at the end of Dominaria, and then he's like, well, bye guys, that's my mission, see ya. In fact, I think that was his excuse for not fighting Nicol Bolas, wasn't it? I don't remember. So we knew that was coming, but now we've got them traveling through portals, you know, little Kaldheim spoiler alert there. And what did they do? They showed up and stole some tree sap or something from the World Tree? Isn't that what they did? Well, anyway, that was supposed to be Praetor number 2. So, yeah, the whole theory that it wasn't just a one-off, it wasn't just a hint, it wasn't just a demo to see how people responded. It's going to be an ongoing thing in the lore. The new big, like, 10-year story arc or whatever, kind of like Nicol Bolas, was going to be the fighting the Phyrexians and them traveling around doing whatever they're doing, and then probably getting stopped by the Gatewatch. I hope they pump the brakes a little bit and do something with Emrakul, but we know that we're going back to Innistrad, so, like, yeah, I would think. So that's cool. I mean, I know some of you at this point are more interested in the lore leaks than the actual Modern Horizons leaks, but, well, for Modern Horizon leaks, we've got Counterspell in it, which would be nice. I wouldn't be surprised. People have been wanting Counterspell in Modern forever, and I do believe that this is a 100% Modern legal and Commander legal set, or, well, Eternal legal. People who have analyzed the game at like a mathematical level, not just would I enjoy having the card in it, ooh, let me give my opinion, like more factual based, like would it work and is it needed, have concluded yes. So if you're not familiar, and I probably won't put these up on screen because I'm just bouncing around and we don't have pictures, it is the legendary OG 2-cost blue universal counterspell, so it's cancel for 1 less mana. And in my opinion, yes, blue is underrepresented in Modern, and when you run blue, it's for the same dumb, degenerate, overpowered crap that isn't even really blue on the color pie. It just happens to be blue. So yeah, throw some counterspells in. Why not? The best thing is it's not even a big money card. Next up, allegedly, a Shardless Agent will be there. So that's a artifact creature human rogue, so basically cyborg, and it just straight up has Cascade. It's 1 generic, 1 green, 1 blue, 2/2 with Cascade. So I hope we don't see that. Cascade is awful. They've come back around and still proved that Cascade is awful and doesn't work and should never be reprinted. But the card already exists, so, I mean, it was in Eternal Masters, by the way. So this is the really wacky one. Oh, and by the way, the same source, literally the same exact person, in the middle of these said, here's what's going to be in Kaldheim. And they were completely correct. And if the date stamps are correct, this was before Kaldheim. So they're like, it'll have sagas, it'll have snow, new border, it'll have Foretell as an ability. The Phyrexians are going to start using planar bridges, but it still destroys the organic matter because of the mending. So the Praetors will go through, but nobody else can. I thought they were like half organic, but okay. And then they resumed the Modern Horizons 2 spoilers. So like, yeah, like I said, I think I know who the source is. Like not like personally, just I think they were the person responsible for 2 others that I've seen. So anyway, Modern Horizons may have a planeswalker that counts as a 1/1 insect in every zone but the battlefield. So what is that, like a polymorphing one where it's like you can search your deck for a 1/1 insect or a creature with a CMC of, I don't know, this is not really related to 1/1 insect, but then you can go get it, but then, oh look, it's actually a planeswalker, or you like summon it as a creature and it becomes a planeswalker. I don't know. They reference Court of Calling, saying that you could like get it out that way or reanimate or something like that. So as long as it's dead, it's a 1/1 insect. But if it's not, it's a planeswalker. So that seems to violate what we know about planeswalker spark rules. But we've also heard from the staff that those aren't very hard rules. Like, I think they said, like, if we wanted a bunny rabbit planeswalker, we would just do it. Like, yeah, they've all been humanoid so far, but, like, why can't they be something else? And plus, they made up all these hard rules, and then we're like, yeah, but that doesn't apply to Karn. And then they're like, oh, okay. And then everything went tits up with War of the Spark and how sparks work there. Well, then we got the Wanderer with a defective or artificial spark. We're not really sure which. Those are the two theories. So, like, they're gonna do, if they want to do a 1/1 insect planeswalker, they're gonna do it. It sounds broken, degenerate, and pushed, and it probably is, and it probably won't work, and it'll probably slot into existing tier 1 decks and make them even worse, and then they'll have to roll it back and ban them. Remember what happened with MH1? What did they all have to ban? I know one of them was like was it one a Delve card, one was a Dredge card, I think, no, Diregraph wasn't in there, or was it? They had to ban like everything from that damn set. So we're going to get a cycle of 5 elementals with Evoke, and the Evoke cost will be exile a card of their color from your hand. So Evoke kind of turns like a big spell into a smaller spell. It's usually like a creature, but then you only get the ETB effect, and then it's immediately exiled. So it's like, oh, you can pay like 6 for the creature, and then it has an ETB effect of this, or you can evoke it. It drops into play, okay, and then it immediately leaves the battlefield, and all you get is the ETB effect. So you get like half the spell for like half the mana. I always thought it was cool. It'd be cool if they brought that back. But I mean, the evoke cost would effectively be free then. So yeah, that sounds bad. So before we move on through this absolute madness, a quick word from my new sponsor. And I guarantee you haven't heard of it yet on YouTube. I'm not going to tell you to shave your balls. You do you. That's a personal decision. Let me introduce you to Into the AM. They make some killer t-shirts and more. I'm wearing one right now because it was thin enough to go bike riding without getting all sweaty and hot, but also it's hyper comfortable. I could actually sleep in this. So they've got really cool designs. I mean, some are kind of like silly and funny, geeky, weird, quirky, and some are like super serious and awesome looking. They got some textured background ones that are kind of like the mountain, if you've seen those. There is a style for everyone. By the way, their shirts are ultra premium materials. They are handcrafted with care from their skilled artisans. They use eco-friendly inks. I mean, they're just a responsible, good, proper American company. And so you're probably thinking, I can't wait to see the outrageous price tag. Oh, wrong. I've bought sketchy low-quality shirts on eBay for more than this. They got a 3 for $60 thing going on. I mean, these guys ain't playing. And if you want to save some real money, check out the link in the description and use the code DESTHREADS to get 10% off. That's right, that's DES if you spell it with a Z, even though it's short for Desolator, the special unit from Red Alert 2. Then you deserve to pay 10% more. I'm sick of people spelling it with a Z for no reason. Let's cut over to the only model I could afford to hire for the channel, given the amount of money I've been making lately, to show off some of the styles in person. Come on, how epic is that artwork? By the way, it glows in the dark. We don't need Trump's executive order to tell us where the A. LeMayos are, man. They're on my shirt. They're not in Area 51. They're right here. Look at that. Look how happy he is to find water on Mars. He's standing in it. Look at him. He's so satisfied. So hey, if your wardrobe is as sad as mine was, boy, you better pick up some new threads with the code DESTHREADS. Link in the description. And now, back to the spoilers. So I'll just drop this one on you. We're going to see a cycle of suspend cards with no mana cost. Because that went so well the first time they did it and totally didn't interfere with fetch spells and everything in all of Modern and Commander. What were they thinking? Next up, Solitary Confinement. I've actually never heard of that card. It's a 3 cost from Judgment, White Enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Solitary Confinement unless you discard a card and then skip your draw step. But then you have Shroud and then prevent all damage that would be dealt to you. So you can't be targeted by any spells or abilities, and you can't take damage. Holy crap, I'm recording an OBA video right after this. I guess they didn't want this set to be draftable because this is just the I win card. And remember, they put Platinum Angel in some reprint set in the past, and it was like, okay, pretty unfair, but a removal spell, Nobody has a removal spell for an enchantment. Oh, and if you thought Triskaidekaphobia was a fun card, we're getting... Ooh, this is going to take a couple takes. Asmora Normardic A Distinacula, assuming that they missed the A there, because there should be one. It could be Nakuldakar, I guess. So I don't think it's A Smorandimardic or whatever. I think it's Asmor, and like that's the prefix. Nomardic, which I forgot what that means. It's some medical term. Well, it's all Latin, obviously. I could look it up, but honestly, who gives a crap? And then you would think that would be the end of the first word, but this is all one word. And then Adistinaculadacar. I guarantee I'm saying that incorrectly, but it's all one word. So, I know with the phrasing it's an adjective. I can't identify any of these prefixes, suffixes, or words. I mean, not really, and I'm a bit of a linguist, so whatever the hell that spell does, if you'd like to break apart the Latin, go for it. Feel free. So how did they fit the name on the card? Well, they didn't give it a mana cost at all. It's going to be, from what I can tell, the first card without a mana cost. Could be wrong. There might be some suspend cards out there that work that way. I feel like I should know this. But here's the thing. You would think, oh, it doesn't have a mana cost, it's automatically considered 0. Well, you would also think that if you have 2 identical tokens that don't have a name, that they would be considered to have the same name. Wrong. Learn that one with Deckenstone. Oh, they just threw it in the middle here. Liliana is on Strixhaven. So that turned out to be true. Kaya's in an upcoming set, but they said they forgot which one. Kaldheim, spoiler alert. So, considering these came out November 6th, 2020, that sounds pretty good as far as accuracy. Then we're going to have Sanctum Prelate for the Buy a Box promo. That's a 3-cost white human cleric 2/2. As it enters battlefield, choose a number. Non-creature spells with converted mana cost equal to the chosen number can't be cast. So in other words, human form Chalice of the Void. Well, although non-creature spells, but yeah, that's pretty tasty. So this lineup of spells for MH2 sounds absolutely horrible. Just terrible. I mean, just think about it. Just think about all this broken, degenerate, rule-breaking, modern-breaking garbage. This is going to make MH1 look like it wasn't a disaster by comparison. And it was a disaster. All the crap they tried to sideload into Modern, it all backfired. It was a disaster. So instead of propping up the most hated mechanics and hated deck archetypes in the world, which was like Mill, Dredge, all this other dumb bullshit, Storm, I think they even supported in that one. Just like the number 1 through 10 most hated archetypes in Modern, they reinforced all of them, whether they were already tier 1 or not, ruined everything, pissed off everybody. Then they banned the wrong card. Then they had to come back and ban a different card, which was the real card that was actually the problem. I'm not making this up. This all happened in case you weren't like around or paying attention back then. So it's bad. So now we've got 0-cost spells. We've got overpowered broken stuff. I mean, we've got the very brave and recommended but still extremely dangerous addition of Counterspell into Modern, allegedly. They are going all out and playing with fire on this one. I mean, this is absurd. Oh, there's one I missed. I just read through it. There's going to be some card called Jin-Gitaxias Reality Hacker. Not sure if that's MH2 or standard because, Phyrexian, scouts, invasions, leader people, final bosses, whatever. But yeah, the lineup looks terrible, but those are your official leaks. And by official, I mean extremely not official. It is official that they need to stop, trusting level 3 judges to playtest this shit ahead of time, or they need to stop pissing off their employees, because those are the only 2 things that could possibly be behind this. Also, the censorship job on these little screenshots here from Discord are terrible. If you want to know who's behind it, look for somebody with the kid from Nier Automata as their profile picture. Yes, I determined that from about 3 pixels. I think the pattern recognition and puzzle solving part of my brain has a tumor or something. After an appropriate amount of time when it's already spread all over the internet, I'll report on this stuff, but I don't support it. People leaking this kind of stuff, yeah, I get it, haha, funny, stick it to Wizards, but you're still kind of like an edgelord douche. Just, ooh, look at me, I have this information, it's so naughty, and I'm gonna share it even though they told me not to. Ooh, how cool am I? Everybody admire me. What kind of sad, pathetic, middle schooler-esque douche would do that? Not that I care. The bigger douchebag in this is Wizards you ruined our big reveal and our big thing where we send out the cards to people on Twitter who kiss our ass and are the right gender and skin color. Because we hate men and white people. Well, nobody ever gets as hyped as Wizards themselves for spoiler season, and they take themselves way too seriously during it. So I hate everybody involved, but this is probably going to get 10,000 views, so you boy got to look out for, number 1. Got to bring home the bacon so I can spend it on dank t-shirts. Speaking of that, check out Into the AM, use my link in the description, use my code DESTHREADS, all one word, to get 10% off your order. Seriously, go check out everything they got. Oh, I forgot to mention they have a t-shirt of the month club that is astonishingly cheap. And the 3 for $60 thing and the free shipping for $75 on up. I mean, these guys ain't playing around. Like, they are here to compete on the t-shirt market. There ain't no $35 t-shirts here. And you know what? F other YouTubers who promote that overpriced shit. Go support a local American business that's keeping it real. Hell, go buy a shirt from them just because they didn't ask you to shave your balls. I'm getting sick of hearing that shit. By the way, here's another spoiler for you. They didn't approve this script. Hopefully they approve of it after the fact. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys next video.